Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video for Fear the Walking Dead, leading up to the third episode for Fear the Walking Dead Season 3. And we'll say with this one, it is really starting to look like our main group may be the Whisperers after all. And spoiler warning, if you are not caught up for Fear the Walking Dead, which is up to Season 3 after the second episode due to the double premiere. So going to continue right on with the Fear the Walking Dead videos as we've been doing this week, guys, for if the season keeps going at this pace, probably most of the season. Of course, we had a double premiere, so not every weekend are we going to get that many episodes of Fear with that much craziness going on with Fear. I mean, if they kept doing stuff like that, the series would be over before you know it, because they'd end up just killing everybody off. But this weekend we've got episode 3, and I am actually pretty excited for it after such a strong double premiere, I want to say. So in this one, first topic for this one is really starting to look like the Whisperers, meaning our main core group. As we're starting to see, you know, spoiler warning if you haven't seen the first two. So after the death of Travis, you know, a lot of the theories that we had for the group becoming villains and the possibility of them becoming the Whisperers, especially when you see Nick and how he kind of interacts with the dead and how he blends in with the zombies or the walkers in the Walking Dead universe. You know, we've had a lot of theories over the years that we could be seeing the Whisperers in this show, actually. Now, there are some issues with it, and one of the main ones was, as people brought up, Travis doesn't really seem to fit with the Whisperers unless people thought maybe he could be Beta or something like that. He's kind of small to be a Beta. So he was part of, I think, one of the reasons why a lot of people thought that we weren't seeing the Whisperers in the Fear the Walking Dead group. Also, there's kind of been news in and around the show that it really is not connected with the other Walking Dead series, and we should be seeing the Whisperers come up pretty soon, probably within the next year or two in the regular Walking Dead TV series. So it's interesting to see whether or not this group actually is going to become the Whisperers or just a totally different group. Either way, I think they're on the trajectory to become a group of villains versus a group of good guys. So the first one is from J-Wall in 1934, who says, Trev Q&A, do you think Madison will actually become Alpha? I see and feel so, unless they have another perfect actress to pull it off. Can you imagine the buzz, a foreshadow of Fear and Walking Dead crossing a season or two would be? Like how that would work? What are your thoughts? So at first I thought for Alpha it wouldn't make sense at all. Now this was a while ago, so we've seen some stuff in the Walking Dead comic book series. Some things have happened with the Whisperers there. And, of course with AMC shooting both shows, it would be difficult if they were to have Kim Dickens be in the original Walking Dead for a while and then kind of, come back to Fear and then film all of Fear as Fear being a prequel for the Whisperers if they were going to do that. But the thing is a lot of things have changed. You know, the Walking Dead comic book series story of the Whisperers has been kind of, I don't want to say completed, but that group of Whisperers has mostly been, covered. With the TV series version, the TV series has changed a lot in Season 7 and even in Season 6, where, especially Season 7, you're getting bottled off sections. You're getting sections of episodes where you may not even see some of the main core group. So you could have an actress potentially be in both series, and I don't know if it would be really that hard for them to pull off to have someone like Kim Dickens, be in a few episodes of The Walking Dead Season 9 or something. And then go and do Fear as a prequel, with Fear ending possibly at the point where the Whisperers would come into the original Walking Dead series. So I think it's a really cool theory and a really cool idea. Certainly anybody who totally disregards it, I suggest you to go back and check the episodes with Nicholas where he's really getting into that kind of Whisperer mode. And it just makes me really think, like, you see, you have Madison, or you have Kim Dickens' character Madison, who she's so rapidly becoming what seems to be a very fierce villain wanting to protect her group. Some people have theorized that maybe they could have Alisha be Lydia, something like this. Man, that would be really cool. To give a simple answer to it, I still don't think it's what they're doing. I think generally they're going to try to keep these totally separate so that they can have The Walking Dead be its own universe and they're the same universe, but have The Walking Dead TV series be its own story with no no crossovers and have Fear be its own, so you don't have to worry about, the storylines crossing into each other, or, the chaos of an actress or actor going to one and then, in the future and then coming back to the other one for, a prequel. It could get kind of crazy as far as stuff like that goes. But I just think it would be so cool if they were able to pull something like that off and have Kim Dickens be Alpha. Have Madison turn out to be Alpha. And also for people who think, well, the distance is too far, the Whisperers constantly move around, and there is quite a bit of a time skip in between these two. I mean, if you look at where the group in Fear the Walking Dead is at right now, they are literally before Rick has woken up from the coma. So I did a video on that this week. Literally, Rick is not awake yet, and they've already gone through everything they've been through that we've seen in Fear. So could it make sense that they could, migrate around and find their way to the capital, where, or Virginia, or near where Rick and the others, somewhere near where Rick and the others are now? It's a really cool theory. I really like it a lot. Very simply, I don't think it's what they're going for. I think what we're seeing is a group of villains, though. I do think that, and I should say that. But man, would that ever be cool if they had Madison become Alpha or something like that, and show up in the original series. It would also help out Fear a lot, because if they did that in season 9 or 10, people would have a lot more of a reason to watch Fear, because they'd be like, okay, I'm watching the original Walking Dead, and now this new villain comes in named Alpha. We find out she takes off her scalp, her skin, and we find out it's Kim Dickens' character, it's Madison, and then Fear the Walking Dead is going to start that summer. You think people are not going to watch Fear after they see that? It could be an incredible way to promo Fear to have it in the original series. So very simply, I don't think they're doing it, but man, that would really be cool if that's what they were going for and they did that. I personally, at this point, after seeing what we've seen so far, it'd be tricky to pull it off, but it might be worth it to boost Fear, and it really would, I think. So you guys can write your comments below on whether or not you'd like to see that. It's probably unlikely, but, just write your comments just for fun anyway, as a theory. What do you think? Like, what would that, to you, would that enhance Fear for you? For me, I think it would enhance Fear. It would make Fear better to see that kind of a strong crossover and find out that this story is really a prequel, and then eventually have Fear end when her part in The Walking Dead begins or something. That'd be really cool. Next question is from greenpanda 2004, who says, Trev, do you think that Fear the Walking Dead will cross paths with The Walking Dead? So far, everything points to no, as far as what's been said about the show outside the show from Kirkman, AMC, everybody else. Sounds like, even though it's in the same universe, it'll probably never cross over. We'll never have any characters cross over, anything like that. But in doing so there's pros to that. You can keep the series going for as many seasons as you want to. It wouldn't have to finish early as like a prequel portion or something like that. So it could go on for as long as you want it to if you were to do it that way. But the advantage to having anything cross over between the two is you make it feel more like the Walking Dead universe, like a cohesive part of the Walking Dead. You would make Fear feel more like it is the same, and people would probably be more apt to watch it if there were characters that crossed over from one to the other. Even someone like Morales, if they were able to figure that out, or have it make sense. Any kind of crossover like that could add some weight to Fear and actually help Fear become a more popular show, and people want to watch it more because there's maybe more insight in it that can aid to the backstory for The Walking Dead, the original series, that you wouldn't get if you didn't see Fear. So it'd be cool, but so far as we know right now, they have no plans to cross over. So we'll see. But that'd be really cool if they did. That would certainly add some weight to Fear and give people more of a reason to watch it. Dennis Whalen says, Trev, do you think we will see Travis again as a walker? So that's a really cool question. That would be really dark to see. That would be cool to see for a mid-season finale or something, to have maybe Madison be somewhere in the vicinity heading back or something, and have Travis as a walker crawl up or something like that with a broken spine. That would be brutal. That would be super dark. But again, it's cool to have it be similar to the original Walking Dead. But a lot of people lately, I've been seeing in the comments, people are liking this kind of change from what I've seen so far. Some people are pissed with the death and everything in the premiere. But some people are like, wow, this is actually like maybe even darker in some ways than the original Walking Dead series was at this point. and that is intriguing. That is interesting. So, man, I think that would be cool to see Travis as a walker again. So, last one will be from Jason Hecker, and then we'll wrap it up for today, and we'll have another one for you guys tomorrow. Send me more questions and private messages for Fear. We'll do one more tomorrow before the premiere for episode 3. Jason says, I'm 99.9% convinced that they are the Whisperers. Madison equals Alpha, Nick equals Beta, and Alisha equals Lydia. The only thing with Nick being Beta is I think he's too small for Beta. Now, you could argue in the TV series you could just do it anyway and have it be whatever. If you gave him 2 badass knives and stuff and gave him some sweet scenes of him tearing apart people in Fear the Walking Dead, then I guess you could make it work, even though he's not quite that big. You know, sizes and everything. If you did it right, you could make it work to where Nick could become super fearsome over the years, I think. Everyone else will be killed off eventually. Fear the Walking Dead is their backstory, which is going to make the show absolutely amazing once they're combined. That would be so cool. You're right. It would be amazing if they were to do that. If Fear the Walking Dead is about how the Whisperers were born, they would have done something no other show has ever done. By the time they combine the shows, you'll be invested in Madison, Nick, and Alicia's characters, and we're all already invested in Rick's group. When they do go up against each other, you'll have to choose a side, which would be interesting. Obviously, most of us would be for Rick's group, but knowing how ruthless and creative Madison and Nick are will make for a very interesting dynamic on the show. We'll know what Rick is up against, and that will surpass anything they've done on the show, and hopefully we'll be able to get right into it. We'll already know how ruthless Madison and Alpha, or Madison/Alpha really is from day one. We won't need to build up to it and have all the character development that we needed with Negan. They spent half a season building up Negan's character. They're spending 4 to 5 seasons building up the Whisperer characters. You know, if they managed to pull it off, you know, that would be incredible. You know, I would applaud them on that. If they managed to somehow morph this group from Fear, pretty much, we've had some theories, but almost nobody would see that coming, and kind of have them morph into the Whisperers. I mean, that would be so cool. Like I said, having Madison reveal herself, or Alpha reveal herself as Madison, would be amazing. And like you said, that could be a huge thing to see both groups go against each other in the original Walking Dead if they were to do something like that. Wow, so the prospect is very interesting. Write your comments below. You guys can write problems with the theory. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? What would it do for the show? You know, the future of Fear, and just what you think about you know, this group, and look at those episodes with Nick in them, and tell me that you're not seeing something very, very Whisper-esque. Are they kind of sneaking it in without us even realizing it? Write your comments below and let me know what you guys think, especially after the major death in the season 3 premiere. And again, we'll update in the future on this one as well too, as we see future things happen with these characters and we get closer to eventually seeing the Whisperers in the original Walking Dead TV series. If you guys like this video, please thumb it up. I appreciate it. Thumb it up below. You can share if you've got a Facebook and you wouldn't mind sharing through. I'd appreciate it. Helps me out. And you know, subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. And that's it for this one, guys. We'll see you again soon for another. Very excited for tomorrow night's episode and tomorrow's Q&A with you guys. It's Trav, as usual. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. I'll see you soon.